Ramona Singer, potential political ambitions down in Florida, and then this pretty significant backlash over a photo she posted with Daniel Penny.
Lewber and Lisa Vanderpump.
Scheana apparently felt Lisa had manipulated Allie.
Never desired criminal charges. Bethenny Frankel. Her thoughts on the RHONY reboot news. She also opened up quite a bit about her move to Florida, said she hadn't been totally honest about why. Carly Burnett from Vanderpump Rules, pretty eye-opening about how she got on the show.
She said she never worked at SUR.
Sounds like drama brewing around Katie Ginella.
Reports are swirling that Katie's time might be up after season 19.
Teresa Giudice. And this is, well, unexpected. About her time in prison.
Yeah.
Sonja Morgan. A little restaurant drama in NYC.
Sophia Umansky.
Oh, right. She's not working at the agency anymore.
Nope. She announced she's left her dad's company.
Jax Taylor. His rehab stint as seen on The Valley.
She reminded everyone she apparently caught him naked with another woman literally the day he left for rehab.
He warned her.
Okay, so let's talk about Ramona Singer, you know, from Real Housewives of New York.
Right.
The word is she's maybe thinking about politics down in Florida.
That's the buzz, yeah. Apparently considering a run for office. Could be the Florida House. Maybe something local in Palm Beach County.
And, you know, some comparisons are already floating around. I heard someone suggested she thinks she's the next Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Just a specific political lane she might be aiming for.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're hearing from Palm Beach sources that she's been meeting with conservative donors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Trying to brand herself as this no-nonsense, straight-talking woman of the people. That's the phrase being used.
A woman of the people. Interesting. Yeah. But I mean, there's always the Ramona factor, right? Like one person said, the problem is she's Ramona.
Exactly. Her, let's say, established public persona is definitely part of the equation. It's very well documented.
Very. And speaking of her public image, she was just in the news again, wasn't she? Something about a photo.
With Daniel Penny.
Right, Daniel Penny, the Marine from the Jordan Neely chokehold case. She posted a picture and the caption, "So proud, Daniel Penny, hashtag a penny saved, hashtag hero," caused quite a reaction.
I bet. And that post is gone now, apparently.
Seems like it's been deleted, yeah. But it definitely stirred things up significantly.
So what does that whole incident signify, really?
Well, it taps right into how divisive that case was. Jordan Neely, he was a homeless black man, did Michael Jackson impressions, died after Penny put him in a chokehold on the subway back in May 2023.
Okay.
The medical examiner ruled it a homicide. Penny argued self-defense, went to trial, and was acquitted. But for many people, it raised huge questions about, you know, racial bias, excessive force, mental health support.
Yeah, all of that.
So Ramona taking such a public stance, aligning herself with Penny like that, it obviously hit a nerve. People had very strong feelings both ways.
And the online reactions definitely showed that. I saw comments calling her out, some even blaming her for like RHONY ending or pausing. People brought up past accusations, things like that. Some comments were quite harsh, calling her things like a bigot or trash.
So, okay, putting that controversy aside for a second.
Yeah.
What about her actual political chances? Is this a serious possibility?
Well, it's Florida. We heard from one political strategist who basically said, don't laugh. Their take was, look, she has name recognition from the show. She has money. She seems to be cultivating these conservative connections. In Florida, that might actually be enough. Enough to land a seat, was the quote.
Wow, okay. But not everyone agrees.
Definitely not. We also heard from a former RHONY co-star who had a, let's say, very different perspective.
What did they say?
Something along the lines of she's the last person who should be representing anyone. They even brought up how she handles the reunions, you know, storming off.
Right, I remember that. So a total contrast there.
Exactly.
And it's not like this Penny photo is the only controversy she's ever had. There's other stuff in her past, right? Accusations of racism. Didn't someone report she texted a racial slur once?
Those reports are out there, yes. They're part of her history, and they inevitably come up when discussing something like this.
So how does all that baggage play into this potential run?
It's complicated. Some sources close to her apparently say Ramona feels she's always just been misunderstood. And now she's trying to frame herself as like a truth teller who's being silenced. One source called it classic Ramona delusion, but it's also dangerous.
Truth teller being silenced. Okay.
Others are more cynical. They just think it's a fame grab, meaning she misses the spotlight, misses the cameras after being off RHONY. Remember, she was on from season 1 all the way through 13. That's a long time in the public eye.
It really is.
So if you want to keep up with all this, make sure you subscribe to Realty TV. Let's jump right in with Vanderpump Rules. This thing with Lewber and Lisa Vanderpump. So Allie was on the Virtual Reality podcast, and she talked about this phone call she had with Lisa after she and James Kennedy split.
And it wasn't just like a "how are you doing" call, apparently. Lisa sort of tried to get Allie to second-guess the breakup.
Yeah, Allie said she felt really impressionable around Lisa. She mentioned Lisa's intelligence, how articulate she is. And Lisa apparently used that vibe to suggest Allie might have, made the wrong choice leaving James.
And then Allie talked to Scheana Shay about it.
She did. And Scheana's reaction was pretty strong from Allie's account.
Scheana apparently felt Lisa had manipulated Allie, called it really wrong.
Which really shows the different perspectives within that group about Lisa, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Because Allie herself kind of softened it, saying maybe Lisa's intentions were good, like genuine care for James.
Yeah, she did suggest that. It's not so black and white, is it? You always wonder about the motives behind those off-camera talks.
Lisa and James go way back, so her concern, even if it landed weirdly with Allie, might just come from that history.
Good point. And we should probably remember Allie's own words from January, after those charges against James were dropped.
Oh, yeah, the Instagram post.
Right. She thanked people but made it clear she never desired criminal charges, said it was an argument about his drinking, and importantly that she was not physically hurt.
So her stance on that incident was, well, pretty clear, even though the relationship itself ended.
I haven't been totally honest with you about this move, so I've been pretty lonely for the past 5 or 6 years.
Okay. Next update we have about Bethenny Frankel. Her thoughts on the RHONY reboot news.
Bethenny. Never shy with an opinion, especially about RHONY. So reports came out saying the reboot was canceled.
And she jumped right on that.
She did. And she had a lot to say about what made the original show work.
She called it an alchemy of disaster.
She said it was a flawed group of women in a flawed city, authentically being ourselves, unhinged.
And she thinks the reboot missed that mark.
She felt the producers pandered to society, tried to make it too glossy.
Yeah, a glossy, curated version, she said, instead of just letting a real group of friends be,
ridiculous, crazy, imperfect, her words.
It does make you think, what do viewers want? Polished lives or relatable messes?
It's a constant tension in reality TV, I think. Bethenny clearly lands on the side of messy authenticity being more compelling.
Seems like it. And speaking of changes, she also opened up quite a bit about her move to Florida, said she hadn't been totally honest about why.
Right. It wasn't just about the weather. She talked about feeling really lonely for, the last 5 or 6 years.
And the pandemic made that worse.
Yeah, she said it sort of gave her license to be the introvert she feels she is, but then moving to the suburbs, she felt even more isolated, like in a cave, didn't know anyone.
It's quite a contrast to her public image, isn't it? Someone so seemingly out there feeling so alone.
Definitely. And the move to Florida sounds like a real attempt to connect. She mentioned wanting to be around other human life.
And her daughter being excited for her to have friends. That's kind of sweet, actually.
It really is.
Okay, next update we have about Charlie Burnett from Vanderpump Rules. This is pretty eye-opening about how she got on the show.
Oh yeah, this was on the Trying to Figure It Out podcast, the big thing. She said she never worked at SUR.
Not even as a server.
Nope, never worked there, which flips the whole show's concept on its head, right?
Completely. It's supposed to be about the SUR staff. So how did she end up there?
She said her agency contacted her initially for a totally different show. Something about young actors trying to make it in LA.
Huh. So the show itself, morphed into Vanderpump Rules.
Seems like it. Or at least the casting process was maybe more flexible than we thought. She met Lisa Vanderpump and suddenly she's part of this SUR-centric world.
Wild.
And Charlie said her biggest regret was not actually watching Vanderpump Rules before she joined.
Oh, wow. So she went in blind.
Pretty much. She called herself a blind buddy, didn't know the cast, felt totally lost, said she had nobody in my corner.
Oof, that sounds incredibly difficult walking into an established group like that on camera.
Yeah, especially a group with so much history and drama already baked in, you'd feel like a total outsider.
And that feeling eventually led her to quit.
Seems so. She called it an abrupt decision, said the whole situation just triggered her and she needed to step away from, everyone and everything.
Understandable. That kind of environment, feeling unsupported, it would take a toll.
And she mentioned muting almost everyone from the shows afterwards, except Ariana Madix.
She felt Ariana was the only not fake connection.
That's what she said.
Okay, next update we have about the Real Housewives of Orange County. Sounds like drama brewing around Katie Ginella.
Reports are swirling that Katie's time might be up after season 19. Insiders are claiming she got left out of the big cast trip to Amsterdam and other events too, apparently because of feuds with Emily Simpson.
Okay, that feud was intense at the end of last season with Emily's daughter, Kylie, and the Heather Dubrow stuff.
Exactly. So maybe those tensions are still simmering. But it's not just Emily, also with Gretchen Rossi.
Gretchen's back in the mix. And feuding with Katie.
Apparently so. And there also talk about Gretchen and Tamra Judge having major issues. So much so that Tamra supposedly walked off production temporarily during a trip to New Orleans.
Wow. Tamra leaving filming. That's big. Things must have gotten really heated.
Sounds like it. Bringing back former housewives like Gretchen always shakes things up, doesn't it?
For sure. But this insider also hinted that maybe Katie isn't cut out for it. Said, reality TV doesn't seem to be for her, suggesting she might exit.
But even with all that, the reports also say Katie faced some wild accusations during filming for season 19, got called a liar.
But she held her ground.
Yeah, sounds like she stood up for herself. So if she does leave, it seems like she went out fighting, you know.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Okay, next update we have about Teresa Giudice. And this is, well, unexpected. About her time in prison.
Yeah, she was on her daughter Gia's podcast, Casual Chaos, and she talked about a surprising positive aspect of being at the Danbury facility.
Which was?
Her fitness. She said she was in the sickest shape of her life.
Seriously? Because she worked out every day.
Apparently so. Daily workouts, she kind of framed it as making a bad situation into a good situation. Said she liked the grounds, her routine.
Found structure in it, I guess. And didn't she win some kind of competition?
She did. A plank competition. Held it for 10 minutes, she said.
10 minutes? That's insane.
Right. She admitted she can't do that anymore, but still. Pretty impressive focus and discipline in that environment.
Definitely shows resilience. But her fame followed her even there, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. She mentioned the media craziness, helicopters trying to get pictures of her inside.
And that actually caused problems for everyone.
Yeah.
Like restrictions on going outside.
Sometimes, yeah. Imagine being locked down because paparazzi are trying to snap pics of Teresa Giudice. Must have been awkward.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, next update we have about Sonja Morgan. A little restaurant drama in NYC.
Ah, Sonja. Yes. Apparently she's been banned from a restaurant called Tucci.
Banned? What happened? Did she cause a scene?
That's the report. Allegedly over a $1,000 bill that she expected to be comped, but the staff refused.
Oh, Sonja, $1,000. And she expected it for free.
Reports say she got hysterical, wouldn't pay, and pulled the I'm a celebrity card, claimed people pay her to go to their restaurants.
Yikes. Was there some confusion?
Possibly. There was something about her reservation size being different than expected, and it was before her cousin Jack Morgan's birthday party nearby. Maybe she assumed it was part of a promotional deal.
Did she end up paying?
She reportedly did pay later and left a tip. But the owner, Max Tucci, confirmed she's still banned, said it was about how she treated his staff and trying to get a freebie without arranging it first. Respect for his team was key.
Makes sense. And Sonja's side.
She called it a miscommunication. Said she thought it was a promotional exchange for a social media post and that she told the staff that.
Okay, so maybe just wires crossed.
Okay, next update we have about Sophia Umansky, Mauricio Umansky's daughter. Looks like a career change.
Oh, right. She's not working at the agency anymore.
Nope. She announced she's left her dad's company.
She was doing marketing and social media there, wasn't she? After studying psychology?
Yeah, seemed like a natural fit. But now she said she's exploring other things.
Interesting. So, stepping away from the family real estate biz.
For now, anyway. She did say she might go back to real estate down the line. Left the door open.
It's always interesting to see the kids from these reality families carve their own paths, like her younger sister, Portia.
Right. They mentioned Portia has an entrepreneurial streak, but isn't heading for real estate right now either. And Kyle, their mom, sounded supportive of her pursuing her own passions.
Good for them. Finding your own way, especially when your family's so public.
Exactly. It takes courage to step out of that shadow, I think.
Okay, last one. Next update we have about Jax Taylor. His rehab stint as seen on The Valley. And it sounded like it wasn't exactly smooth sailing.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. His behavior during that time, especially towards Brittany Cartwright, has been a major focus. Lots of rage texting.
He was complaining she wasn't supportive enough while he was in rehab.
That seems to be his side. But then Brittany's perspective, it adds crucial context.
What did she say?
She reminded everyone she apparently caught him naked with another woman literally the day he left for rehab.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah, that definitely changes the supportive wife expectation somewhat.
Just a bit. But Jax apparently tried to argue that her lack of support somehow, caused him to use his phone so much in rehab. He even mentioned some California law about them not being able to take his phone.
Shifting blame.
Seems like a pattern, according to their friend Jason Caperna. He said Jax would kind of admit he messed up, but then immediately pivot to blaming Brittany.
Yikes. And Brittany just had enough.
Yeah. She blocked his constant messages. And at this, Jax apparently warned her not to go on a date while he was away.
Wait, he warned her?
Yeah.
After what she allegedly found. The irony is thick.
She talked about feeling embarrassed for their son with everything being so public and wanting to maybe help other people who are in toxic situations.
That's understandable. But Jax still felt hard done by, complaining about not getting supportive texts.
Yeah, he apparently felt even one nice text would have helped him through rehab.
And Brittany's reaction was basically, "Are you kidding me?"
Pretty much. Why would she act like the supportive, loving wife given his actions leading up to rehab and his behavior during it? It's just a mess.
A really difficult, painful mess playing out for everyone to see. Highlights the dark side of putting relationships on reality TV.
Definitely. Trust broken, different realities, immense public pressure. It's a lot.
Well, okay. That was quite the deep dive. So if you want to keep up with all this, make sure you subscribe to Real Tea TV.
Yeah, and hit that bell icon. You don't want to miss our next breakdown.
Thank you for watching this video. See you tomorrow.